October 10th will go down in the history books of all anime fans as the day the GOAT returned. Episode 1 of the 1000-Year Blood War was perfection within an anime episode, and even climbed to the highest rated series of all time within my anime list in less than 24 hours. For the love of God, please don't let the Full Metal Alchemist fans hear this. If this first episode has shown us anything, it's shown us that the anime has the potential to surpass the manga. With modern animation, incredible pacing, and room for further development, we are in for quite a treat. The 1000-Year Blood War will span 52 episodes with 4 different cores, and given the current pace, this will be more than enough. Episode 1 spanned from chapter 480 to 484, and what I enjoyed about the creative angle the animators took with this episode is that they juxtaposed different moments from each chapter that seemed to happen simultaneously. From the missing people in the Rukongai, to the Ebon fight, all the way to Sasaki's death, these events happening concurrently makes the imminent threat of the Quincy all the more terrifying and their invasion infinitely more swift. If there's one thing we know about the Quincy, it's that they move orderly like a perfectly trained military, and these scenes make it all the more apparent. I can't emphasize enough how geeked I was for this episode, and despite having food poisoning, it got me out of bed with immense vitality after once more hearing the famed words of ICHIGO Kurosaki within Bankai. That was kind of cringe. Bankai. The opening scene of this episode was like finally being reunited with old friends as we're once more brought and reintroduced to our cast within Chad, Uryu, Orihime, and Ichigo. And now our 2 substitute Soul Reapers of Karakura Town are also joined in within Shino and Ryunosuke. While these introductions took place, the OST number 1, it couldn't have been more perfect with Bleach now at the top of my anime list, but I digress. As a side note, did anyone else find it hysterical that the voice actor for Ryunosuke is the same voice actor for Deku? Don't get me wrong, I love Deku, but pairing the crybaby voice within Ryunosuke hit the mark. There's something so intrinsically satisfying to see our cast of characters together with modern animation, and it gives me hope for the future of Bleach. There's so many things that can come from the return of our beloved series, from video games to movies, which have recently been the crave of studios around the world. Given the success of Demon Slayer, One Piece, and Jujutsu Kaisen in the box office, I wouldn't be surprised to see after the conclusion of the 1000-Year Blood War that we get a film featuring some of the backstories we were never able to fully flesh out, or a film for the one-shot No Breaths from Hell, which would set up perfectly the hype surrounding the next arc that Kubo has hinted at so many times. We are eating as Bleach fans, and as is our favorite bread girl with the most wholesome scene. One of the elements of the first episode I enjoyed the most was the visuals regarding the Quincy shadow. Within the manga, we can see the ability they can transverse via, but the animation brings to life just how awesome this power is. There's a darkness and invulnerability that the power emanates, and it adds so much more to the hype surrounding the Quincy's who seem to have literally arrived out of nowhere. Near the episode's conclusion, we reach a hype level maximum moment as we slowly come to hear Sasaki's last words, that the Quincy have the ability to steal one's Bankai, which is alluded to earlier before the declaration of war with Yamamoto hearing Sasaki's Bankai outside the building. This is quite a terrifying concept indeed, and there's truly an ambiance of fear with the Quincy standing before Yamamoto to deliver their declaration of war. It's almost like an animal playing with its prey. The Quincy have such confidence in their destruction of Soul Society that they'd pull up on the Yamamoto, kill his best friend, and tell him they're going to war on his people. The amount of balls it takes for a moment like this is indeed far more than 2. Hell, they even scoff at the security, resulting in one of my favorite lines of Yamamoto that I was just texting my friend about the other day, that Yamamoto is here. There is no greater security than that. Unapologetically, Yamamoto is the greatest old man in anime. As these moments take place, Ichigo activates his Bankai against Ebon, and Ebon is unable to steal his Bankai. Given this is a spoiler-free episode 1 discussion, I'll simply tip my metaphorical hat to you fellow manga readers. With the episode ending, we finally see the Mustache King with one of the deepest voices I've had the pleasure of hearing, and I love the irony he immediately presents upon his introduction. As he slices off the arm of one of his soldiers, he simultaneously states he dislikes conflict. Incredible. Much more to discuss on the Mustache Man as time goes on. Within the ending credits, it's a beautiful homage to Bleach as a whole, as we're taken through all the key moments of our story, and it feels like a true salute to the fans who have patiently waited for the story to come back. Although I haven't been part of the Bleach community a very long time, I admire the unwavering respect of the community, who despite attacks from all segments of the anime community, you have all remained steadfast in the eventual return of our beloved story. This ride is just beginning, and it sure as hell isn't slowing down. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a subscription, but most importantly, let me know in the comment section below what your favorite moment from episode 1 was. For me, it was the brief glimpse of Yamamoto's visceral rage. This has been hiXtrah, and as always, be greedier, and I will catch you all next time.